Good news, everyone! Sugar cookie oat lattes are back in, so seasonal depresso is out. Welcome back to Sketchbook Biology. Today, we're going to visit a very peculiar group of moles, the golden moles. But specifically, we'll be looking at Grant's golden mole, also known as the Namib Golden Mole. There's about 21 species of golden moles, all from sub-Saharan Africa. And despite their name, golden moles aren't true moles, like the ones we find in Europe, Asia, and North America. Instead, golden moles belong to the order Afrosauricidae, which include one other animal, the tenrecs. These are tiny hedgehog-like mammals from Madagascar and Africa. These two are a part of a larger supergroup called Afrotheria, which include mammals that originally evolved in Africa. So really, golden moles are more closely related to elephants, aardvarks, and manatees than to true moles. The Namib Golden Mole is the tiniest member of the golden mole family, measuring just about 7 to 8.5 centimeters long and weighing between 16 and 32 grams. Their bodies are sleek and slightly flattened with no visible tail. They've got great shoulder muscles to support their short but very strong forelimbs and smaller hind limbs to help with the digging. The nose tip, or the rhinarium, is enlarged and is covered with thickened skin, which protects the schnoz from the friction of moving through sand. Oh, and their fur is gorgeous, almost velvety. Each hair is fine and smooth, lying flat against the body to reduce friction as the mole moves through the sand or soil. The coat is also highly water repellent and self-cleaning, so dirt slides right off. Depending on the species, the coat of a golden mole can be black to a tawny yellow, but when light hits it just right, their fur can shimmer with flashes of turquoise, blue, violet, or gold. And the cause of the golden mole sheen isn't all pigmentation, it's more structural. Similar to the chitin structure of beetle shells, the hair shafts of the golden moles have multiple, alternating layers of lightly and densely pigmented cuticular scales that refract and scatter the light. Very cool and unusual, because mammals usually don't show iridescence. For a hot second, golden moles were thought to be the only mammal to have iridescence. But since then, 10 rodents and the giant otter shrew have been observed being just as flashy. There's really no reason for the golden mole to have evolved iridescence. They don't use it for any type of display. Scientists think that this iridescence is a byproduct of evolving smooth hair that helps it move effortlessly in the sand. Anywho, the Namib Golden Mole fur is a pale grayish yellow with a silvery sheen, while the sides are even paler and more yellowish. Their faces and bellies are usually white. Younger moles tend to have grayer coats with faint pale cheek markings. Their fur is usually longer than that of any other golden mole, and its length can even change with seasons. Unlike true moles, golden moles are missing a fifth finger on each front paw. Instead, their third, sometimes their second digit, ends in a massive claw. And the Namib Golden Mole is the only golden mole with a fully developed fourth claw. Their hind paws keep all 5 toes, which are also webbed, and this helps them sweep the loose soil backward in smooth strokes. Probably the coolest thing about these moles is that their eyes and their ears have no external opening. Their eyelids seal up very early in life, and the skin eventually thickens to cover them completely. But what does that mean? That means their eyes and ears are fully covered in skin and fur. That means they have eyes on the inside. Grant us eyes, grant us eyes. A little joke for the Bloodborne fans out there. When you live nearly all of your life underground, you don't have much use for eyes, I suppose. The prevailing theory is that once an animal stops relying on its eyes, evolution no longer weeds out mutations that affect vision. For an animal that lives above ground, a weird mutation that messes up its vision could mean getting eaten pretty fast. So those genes don't stick around. But for a creature that spends its whole life underground and never uses its eyes anyway, a messed up lens or an optic nerve doesn't really matter at all. It'll survive, have babies, and pass on those useless genes. And golden mole eyes are pretty much non-functional. The eyes of true moles aren't great, but they still work to some degree. While golden mole eyes are just missing a bunch of stuff that you need to make eyes work. They're missing a lot of muscles and nerves associated with eye movement, including oculomotor and trochlear nerves. The optic nerve, the iris, the lens have also all degenerated. Weirdly enough, the retina, with its light-sensitive rods and cones, are intact, albeit reduced. This bit is interesting because genetic studies have shown that this loss of vision is ancient but partial. The genes responsible for low-light vision are still functional, but not the genes coding for color vision. So if it sees anything, it's probably in black and white, but what it's perceiving with those eyes, I have no idea. Hopefully it's not the eldritch truth. Even still, golden moles navigate life perfectly well without sight. The Namib Golden Mole is endemic to the dunes of the Namib Desert, one of the driest and least productive habitats in the world. These moles are transient and do not make a single permanent burrow system because, well, desert sand doesn't really behave like Earth, it's more fluid, and as soon as a mole burrows through, the tunnel collapses behind it. These moles are also considered nocturnal. They spend the daylight hours in torpor, buried at depths ranging anywhere from 5 to 35 centimeters. They don't go into all-out torpor like fully regulating heart rate, body temperature and all that, but they do reduce their metabolism, therefore reducing their energy consumption. And this is very important because after all, they live in a habitat that has very little food and no open water. So it gets all its nutrients and all its water from its food. So it's probably best they save all that energy for foraging around in the night. As the sun sets and the desert surface cools, the golden mole emerges to hunt. The Namib Golden Mole is a very accomplished sand swimmer. It paddles just below the surface in short bursts, looking for its prey. Their diet mainly includes beetles, termites, ants, and their larvae. But with their eyes and ears sealed off, how do they know which direction to swim in? Well, let's forget about the eyes, those are useless. But the ears, despite having no external opening, are extremely sensitive, particularly to low-frequency seismic vibrations. And that is because this golden mole has a massive malleus. This is the hammer bone in the middle ear. In the golden mole, it has hypertrophied, so it's much bigger in golden moles than they are in any other mammal of similar size. So this mole is listening to the tiny footsteps of bugs across the desert. When it detects vibrations, it quickly changes direction and digs towards the source. And usually, bugs will hang around the bases of dunes or in areas where vegetation traps moisture. So it might even just listen to the seismic disturbance caused by the wind rustling through the desert grass. When the golden mole closes in a bit more, they might start using its nose to sniff out and lock in on the target. And when it is right next to or under the bug, in a sudden swift motion, it will dig a small depression in the sand to trap the insect before quickly chomping down on a meal well earned. Then it'll swim off again looking for more bugs across the desert throughout the night, traveling almost 5,800 meters in its nearly 5-hectare home range. And that is where we will leave these blind but brilliant little moles. A special thank you to all the scientists, grad students, undergrads, technicians, and anyone else that wandered the deserts and braved the heat to observe and publish their golden mole research. And thank you for watching and listening. If today is your birthday, I wish that your kidneys be as strong and durable as those of a golden mole. And if your day is looking a little too parched and barren, I hope you come across an oasis soon. But if you're just out there, being absolutely grateful that you have functional eyes. Please direct your vision to the like and subscribe buttons. I'll see you again soon. Peace.